Hey guys, Jay here. Just wanted to give you a brief rundown of what you're about to hear. So a couple weeks ago, Corey and I were chatting and kind of had the idea to do something for my YouTube channel, Square Pegs, where we talked about video games. And this is kind of what we came up with. We came up with a short form podcast that doesn't go over 35 minutes. And we pick one subject and we talk about it. And, what better time to launch a creative endeavor than during a pandemic? We got nowhere else to go, so we decided to give this a shot. I'm hoping to do some rotating guests from here and there, so if you are interested in ever being on the show, let me know, and we'll be happy to get you on. But until then, I hope you enjoy the first episode of MICROTRANSGRESSIONs. All right. Well, I'm just gonna start because I'm also winging it because I could think of 2 games with viruses.
Yeah. See, that was the challenge.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, might as well just start it here anyway. By the way, bleepity bleep. There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
First 2 in the jar. Awesome.
All right, guys. Welcome to MICROTRANSGRESSIONs. This is the Square Pegs podcast. I am Jay. You guys know me from the channel. With me is Corey, who you may know from the Cretins Guild. And if you don't, you'll become infinitely familiar with him, as he is an infamous mind.
So, you'll become intimately familiar with my infamy.
There it is. I like that.
That's right. Take my wordplay.
There's a whole lot kind of going on right now.
Yes.
Out there in the world.
All things dank and germy and infectious.
Yeah, so what better way than to survive quarantine and to pass some time than by talking about video games that have viruses in them.
Dude, okay, I know that we were talking about the show being something a little bit different. I mean, having to do with the viruses and the pandemic and such. What a week for releases.
Dude.
It's been sick.
Yeah.
Not to be cute.
So Doom came out today because GameStop released it early, intelligently, even though there's a whole myriad of other things that they've done today that are not just
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're making some weird moves today.
We're just being very nice about it.
Yeah, charitable, I know, but still. Maybe they were like, all right, we released Doom Eternal early, let's get the rest of it out now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, all right, we've got a little bit of goodwill. Let's defy authority now.
Oh my god, Doom is out early? Whee! Yeah, Doom is out early, and so is this. That's right, catch it. Get the buckets out.
Yeah, so what else have we had? Tomorrow is Animal Crossing.
Yeah, horns up.
Which I am excited to have that delivered right to my doorstep.
Yeah, I made a boo-boo and still got that pickup because I'm a doofus.
Whoops.
Yeah, well, at least I get to go back. Huh?
Where'd you order it from?
It was Best Buy, like I suggested. I went ahead and because I'm a consumer whore. I went ahead and got the pre-order bonus too with the plush bag of bells.
So did we.
But unfortunately, I ordered it to be shipped to the Sanford store, so it's going to be a little bit of a drive tomorrow. A little bit of a drive, but I get to go by Andy's. It levels out a bit, yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I kind of saw the writing on the wall here in Michigan last week when I was looking at stuff because it was like, hey, we're gonna shut down schools, and I was like, well, that probably means everything else is going to be close to being shut down too. So let's switch that to a delivery.
Yeah. Well, most of us. Now, I think Best Buy is actually still going to be open because, for the most part, a lot of our businesses are in at least partial operation, even stuff that shouldn't be, except for Disney, which is closed.
Well, I'm glad Disney's closed.
Yeah, thank goodness, man.
There's been some stuff I've seen online because I follow a lot of Disney, I guess influencers, for lack of a better term.
Oh yeah. Do you follow Skipper Bob?
I do. Skipper Bob is awesome. You all should follow Skipper Bob.
Pretty great channel he runs, yeah.
He does, and the poor guy's just having a nervous breakdown right now. So be sure to check out his YouTube channel and look at him try to prank a pug. It's adorable and sad.
Yeah.
Because the pug is deaf.
Yeah, it's pretty much a vault training sequence in transit.
I was going to say spoilers, but that's the title of the video, so it's not really too much of a spoiler.
No, you're in safe harbor. You feel free.
Yeah. And honestly, the video is 43 seconds long, so if you're spoiled by that, I'm sorry.
Oh, mild spoilers. It was because of Bob's that video that I finally got a TikTok. Not to tip my hand too much, but hopefully I'll be putting some stuff up soon, and then be deciding in about a week or so if it's a waste of time. Who knows?
Awesome. I look forward to it. I demand a link.
Yes.
So we've got Animal Crossing, we've got Doom Eternal, we've got
exit the effing dungeon drop.
Exit the dungeon. Got a shadow drop. Or
Yeah.
Exit the dungeon.
Exit right
out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Even though it was already on Apple Arcade, but it's now on the Switch, which is awesome, and I can't wait to play it. But priorities.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to wait to order that until everyone's working in the house again. So
of course.
And what else came out? MLB The Show 20 came out this week, which I'm excited to get.
Yeah.
Because I've been playing the show now for about 5 years.
Wow, really?
Oh, I love that series. It's a great game. Great game.
But the one game, right?
No. I update every other year.
Oh, okay. I was going to ask if it was like a TIB thing, then it would be iterative.
No, it's definitely an iterative game. I mean, they release yearly, but I tend to update every other year. Mm-hmm. So I think I did 2015, 2017, and then 2019. But this year there's some changes that I'm interested in. So
you reverse Star Trek those numbers?
Yeah. If I don't get it, I'll live because it's supposed to come out on the Switch next year, and I would rather have it portably. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
Portablish.
Yeah, portablish.
Portablized. Oh my god, the drink is starting to work. Nice.
What are you drinking tonight?
In keeping with the I was going to say the tidings of the season. Yes, this enormous death cloud that we have hovering over every major continent on this planet. I guess you could call that tidings. I was looking for medically themed cocktails, and most of those were unfortunately involving a lot of stuff that I don't have. Like your painkillers, Bloody Marys. There was one called a St. James Infirmary that I really want to make, but I didn't have any of the stuff for it. It needed Pernod and whatnot.
Yes.
Yeah. I made something called Red Dawn.
Ooh.
Yes.
So you're going to fight some Russians?
That's what I was going to say. It's a great dual-purpose drink because of, viruses, illness, vomit, things like that. Pleasant thoughts, all of them. B, if the USSR ever becomes a major global superpower again, we won't be really celebrating that. But we can drink to our assumed survival, I guess.
Sure, yeah.
And to the coming of the new Cold War. Mm-hmm.
You should look up the penicillin and see if you have the stuff to make that drink.
The penicillin, no kidding.
Yeah.
Kind of want to do that right now, actually. Mind if I take a second?
By all means. No, while you're looking it up, I'll walk you through it. It's got lemon juice, 2 different types of scotch, and ginger syrup. And there's probably some other stuff in there, too, that I'm not remembering.
Hey, you know what?
Chicken butt.
Plus that chicken butt. There was, what did I read here? Oh, it was a recipe called amoxicillin. That is basically the same thing, but it uses tequila.
Oh, okay.
Instead of what you're describing there. So this one in particular uses Milagro Silver, lemon, ginger, honey, peppercorn syrup, which don't have any of that stuff, and El Silencio Mezcal float, which I definitely don't have, and probably won't, being that I don't live in a major city.
Sure.
So yeah, that one is it looks good, it sounds good, but it's probably gonna have to sit on the wayside for a little bit.
Yeah, the penicillin is a Scotch base with a peat Scotch float. Mm-hmm. So it's a hefty drink. There's a lot happening there.
Sounds like hot stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe next time. Maybe next time we'll be a little bit looser for this whole thing. So the idea behind this one show was that we were going to do viruses, viral themed games and stuff. And when you lay that out for someone to ponder, what's the first thing that they're going to either, what's the first thing that's going to get blurted out?
Either Pandemic or Last of Us.
Pandemic or Last of Us, which is a video game adaptation of a board game, or if you were ahead of the curve a little bit, you would have gotten what was the one? Plague Inc., I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Which
the one
is
that was on iOS. Yeah.
Yeah, for a long time, and then the pandemic people were like, "Why are we not getting money off of this?
Exactly.
It's our game." And on the other side of the coin, you're going to have zombies or zombie-like settings.
Yeah.
Apocalypse stuff.
Because everything that, you look at Last of Us and everything ties into that. You got Resident Evil. It's the T virus. No, it's zombies.
Right.
Stop it.
Right. And it's always a contagion that causes the zombie scourge to begin with. But, being that the contagion is never, fully defined or even crystallized, just bringing zombies into it seems like a safe way to, present a contagion or a mass panic or something.
Well, yeah, it puts a face on the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing to look at, so you can actually say, oh yeah, they're the bad guy.
Yeah, and therefore you can mow them down with impunity and not feel bad. Which, honestly, if you're used to shooters anyway, is something that you go ahead and just do anyway. So, yeah. I don't know. But there are very few virus-themed games or contagion-themed games, that aren't either like, hey, don't F with Madagascar, or blow all these guys away because they're already dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so there was a couple we came up with. And the first one I want to talk about is one that's actually just got into the eShop, and it's called The Complex.
Yeah, you mentioned that. All right.
Yeah, so it's I call it a game. It's very loosely it's a choose your own adventure. Right. It's an interactive movie. It stars Michelle Milette, who's in Letterkenny, and I'm sure you guys are tired of me talking about it, but I really don't care at this point.
But it's a Canadian. It's a
yeah.
Well,
that's okay. There's going to be a lot of bleeps right there. It's all right. Don't worry about it.
This is so off-brand.
But yeah, so it's a interactive movie about a contagion that opens up in a lab. And it looks really interesting. It's like it's a different type of a visual novel. And visual novels can be cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Aside from visual novels being cool, because that was something that I had just started getting into in like the last couple of years. Nights alone lead to many fell paths. But I try to play most of the better ones, if it's any sort of consolation to anybody. But here's the thing about The Complex, at least from what I've seen. It's not just a visual novel, but it is kind of a throwback to your Night Trapses and your Double Switches and even your Tex Murphys.
Very
when you
much
think about it. Yeah, so it's not just that, but it's also big-time FMV hijinks.
Yep.
And I wanted to kind of like throw this out there, too. Letterkenny is a Canadian show, right?
Very much so, eh?
Well, you know where you can find a lot of pretty talented actors on the cheapski?
The Canadians.
Is Canada, yeah. that's the funniest thing, because you'll see, like, I'd gotten into, like, small budget horror movies in recent years, and there's a lot of go-between with the casts in them, and you'll see a bunch of those players in the Arrowverse shows.
Oh, yeah, and Supernatural.
All over the place.
And, like,
and Supernatural.
If it's filmed in Vancouver, they're there.
Yep. Yeah,
like the lead from Letterkenny, Jared Kiso, has been on Supernatural. I think he was in an episode of Smallville or something like that, where I'm just like, yeah, I don't care. I'm all right with it. It's awesome. Like I'm waiting for Squirrely Dan to show up on Flash next year as Big Sur or something like that. Actually, I think Goldberg was Bill Sur or Big Sur.
Big Sur, yeah.
I'm Bill Sur, Big Sur's father.
William Goldberg, as I believe, what he prefers to be called. That's his preferred nomenclature. Are you sure you don't mean I mean Billiam.
No, Bill is short for Billiam.
Yes.
You mean William. I do not. I mean Billiam.
That makes no sense. Why would I transpose the B in a W? That's very strange. Huh. Americans. Dude, you're from Georgia.
Gilbert is just on the sidelines going, that ain't right.
Gilbert's pulling a Lee Trevino. Anyway. Well, this is going wonderfully to plan.
This is very much on brand for our types of podcasts.
Yeah, pretty much. Derailers, eat your heart out. We're going to run this continent. All right, so yeah, there's a lot of Canadian go-between with the casts and such. Yeah.
Have you started watching Letterkenny yet? Or no, we talked about that. You need to get a Hulu subscription.
Hulu. Okay. Hulu's kind of on the back burner at the moment, as is many other things.
I need to take care of that for you. I can take care of that for you.
Oh, you can take care of it for me, huh?
Yeah, I can get that sorted for you. We will get you watching the Letterkenny. I mean, you've got nothing but time right now.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And these seasons are like at the most 8 episodes. You're going to burn through the show in a day if you really want to.
Oh yeah, so they produce them a lot like British television.
Very much so. Very much so.
Yeah. See, that's why Peep Show was such an easy watch. It was easily 6 episodes at 20 minutes each. Yeah. Or 27. At least that. So, all right. Well, I'll get on that homework as soon as I have the materials. Promise, teacher.
Cool.
So that left us with the problem to come up with disease-themed games that aren't all shooty and the stuff that we had previously described. Complex was one of them. So we're talking FMVs. We've got a pretty niche hat thrown into the ring, which is super cool. And the idea behind the game is that you're trying to stop a contagion from occurring within the setting that it is placed. Like I said, I only saw one trailer. So I was thinking about some other stuff at the same time as that. Complex was a good pick. Another one I was thinking about was Dishonored. Dishonored was a stealthy, action-y sort of a game that came out in 2012, steampunk themed. So I was all up in those guts. And what happens is that throughout the course of the game, now plagues or plague carriers don't tie directly in with the game's mechanics, but rather the conditions of the setting in which you are begin to change dependent upon the actions that you take throughout the game.
Okay.
So rats carry the plague. Now, technically, fleas carry the plague, and fleas bite the rats. I'm gonna stand up for my rodent brethren. And if you want some more elucidation upon that point, watch the short film that comes packaged with Ratatouille. Anyway, so if you cause a lot of chaos and you get up to a whole lot of murdering and assassinating, then more black rats will begin to appear, and the further the city of Dunwall will begin to fall into chaos. Rats become more of a pertinent obstacle throughout your quests and your missions and stuff. So it is to your advantage to not go around slashing people's throats in broad daylight in front of a crowd of tens. Also, they'll see you.
There are dozens of us. Dozens.
Oh, you want to play the dozens? No, we're not doing it. We're not doing this. So that was one I was going to throw out there as well. And kind of like by extension, the rats that appear throughout the course of play in Layers of Fear are similar, but of course because there's no real dying in that game, they kind of play a different part. But that's how disease manifests with our rodents. It kind of sucks that rats have become like a shorthand for nastiness.
Yeah, it does, because rats are awesome. Mm-hmm. So the next one I wanted to talk about is...
Except for Ratigan. He's like, get out of here!
Yeah, I don't like Ratigan. Bad guy, that Ratigan.
Great voice actor. What an
yes,
ass.
very much so. Uh-huh. The next one I want to talk about is Plague Tale Innocence, which is a current gen release, which is pretty cool. So you are playing as a girl who is trying to find relief for your brother who is infected. And again, rats. There's rats everywhere.
Oh, man.
But it looks really neat. Like, I haven't played it yet. I've got it installed on the Xbox, but I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. But the trailers look amazing. Like, it's a visually stunning game. The use of light and shadow in it is really cool. So that was one that piqued my interest, to say the least.
It's when I looked at that, I think I caught a glimpse of it. Was it the Switch, or I think it was on Switch? Yeah. No, it's probably on PC too. I don't know. I could have been just like knocking one back at me like, ha, Plague Tale. I don't get it. No, I do. It looks great, but it also looks like it's very story oriented and narratively driven.
Yep.
Yeah. I was looking at one, and this is a bit of a weird one because this. I think this game producer is kind of recent, and the stuff that they put out is like visually. I wouldn't use the word stunning. I might use the word aggressive, though.
Okay.
We'll go with visually aggressive. And what I was looking at is called Plague Road, and this one is definitely on the Switch because it is almost permanently on sale at 99 cents.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Now on Steam, it's $20. So I assume that there's there's a bit more of a beefy experience to be had there if you're pricing it up that high. But there's some kind of a weird like market dynamic that happens with the Switch. We're all like intimately familiar with Steam sales. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah,
it's part of the culture now, right?
Yep.
Switch has sales too. Most of the time, they're a bit more reasonable than Steam sales are. They'll be like, let's say that there's a $20 game, they'll knock it down to like $14 for a week or something like that, But every once in a while, there'll be a game that will be like permanently stuck at 5 cents, and it'll retail for $29.99.
Yep. It really makes you wonder, like, what's going on here? Like, who made the call to put it at that initial price? Like,
it's a strange strange occurrence. Like I don't want to think that this is it, but it's almost as if the dev is like, geez, we've been moving none of this on Switch, but we got to have traffic or something. So what are we going to do? All right, we just need to get it moved out, but we can't put it up there for free because all of a sudden it's going to be in another income bracket. So, Coke and a handshake, I guess. I don't know.
So one of the interesting things behind that is one of the reasons that devs put those games on sale for that cheap is because there's no rating system on the Switch eShop.
No kidding.
So people can put like just complete dog games up for 5 cents and get people to bite on it, and putting it on 5 cents moves it to the top of the on sale list. So it gets eyes on it. It's real shady. But,
a little bit. Like, I've gotten some damn good games off of that system for like a quarter, a quarter, $1. $1 is like, I don't know, guys. You better be really good.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's some stuff where I'm like, okay, no, that's just 5 cents. I'm not spending 5 cents. I know that's going to be terrible. But like a buck makes me go, well,
I know. Let
me watch the video again.
I'm going to make sure you're exactly what I'm looking for at this steep dollar. Goddamn price tag. So Plague Road is one of those things. And unsurprisingly, it's a part of a franchise called the Plague Universe, which doesn't seem to be too much of a pleasant place to live.
No.
I don't know that.
Call it the Milkshake Universe. At least trick people into going.
I know. It's sell it a little bit. Come on. I mean, I gotta have a reason to drop at least a cent on this game, for Pete's sake. Anyway, I'm gonna send a link to the Steam page for you so you can see exactly what it looks like. And the visuals for it lie somewhere between, God, I don't know what to say. Like, George Cruikshank and an Amon Amarth album cover.
Wow.
You see this? It's bonkers.
Okay, so this looks like someone at Image and Form got really high.
Yeah. Yes.
And used the SteamWorld Quest engine for ill purposes.
Yeah. Now, I normally kind of balk at that cliche about like artists being high all the time and deriving their artistic like sensibilities and such from artificial means, but in this case, it's so effing random. It's everywhere. I mean, good for the artist. The palettes are at least still consistent, and there's a lot of harmony.
Oh yeah,
going on, but that's way underneath the sheets. And what you're seeing on top here is, I feel like, now this is going to be a bit of a caustic way to describe this, but I feel like,
have a rotten day.
And you're probably going to have to believe that entire thing out. So let me come up with a better comparison.
Yeah. Let's redo that bit.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like you're being mugged here.
Yeah,
your senses are being mugged.
It's visual assault. Like there's so much happening.
Yeah, and I can't call it ugly, but it's very distinctive, and a lot of people will be like, ooh, you know.
It's not ugly at all. It's just it's wow. There's a lot happening there.
Yeah. So from the looks of it, it looks like a sort of a turn-based thing, and from the description, because I actually haven't even seen the trailer for it, I swear, all I know of this game is the thumbnail that keeps popping up on the feed, and me being like, you know what, maybe today's the day, and then I remember that I'm like playing a half a dozen other things.
Yeah. The eternal problem of the modern gamer.
Yes, life is indefinitely too hard, and we are so oppressed.
Yes.
Oppressed by choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Or oppressed from choice, rather. Let me see. Set around a city being consumed from within by a disease, a plague, if you will. Plague Road tells a story of a lone doctor who once abandoned their home and now returns to learn the fate of those they left behind. So, rescue survivors, choose whether to use them as traveling companions or improve the doctor's farm and gain access to new abilities. So there's some crafting implied there.
Sure.
How your farm progresses depends upon where you assign survivors to work. To be honest with you, you know what I'd love to see is this, but given a Harvest Moon coat of paint.
Oh, man, that'd be great.
That would be pimp. Oh, my goodness. So that was another one that leapt out at me as far as plagues were concerned.
All right. Well, I've got one more I want to talk about, and then I think we're going to wrap things up because we are getting a little bit long in the tooth here. We're at 25 minutes right now, but
shoot. All right.
There's one very obvious one that both you and I have missed entirely from a genre not typical for this type of subject.
Oh, I hope you're going into this topic because I actually wanted to talk about something in particular. Go ahead.
I want to talk about Dr. Mario.
Yes! Awesome!
Is that what you were going to talk about?
That's exactly what I was going to talk about.
Fantastic!
All right. You get your. All right. Okay. Fragment yourself out first.
Yep.
I want to absorb it, and then we'll continue. Yeah.
So Dr. Mario is obviously it's a puzzle game. It's from Nintendo, stars Mario and some jerk viruses. And the entire point of the game is to eliminate the viruses. Drop some pills on them, they cry, they disappear. It's as simple as it gets. There's nothing complex about the design of the game.
Nope. It was just Nintendo trying to leap off of the money that Tetris had brought them.
Yep.
They're like, we got to keep this cash cow going. What are we going to do?
Yep.
I guess make something new?
Oh my god, what do the moms like to play? They like puzzle games. Quick, make Dr. Mario!
Yeah. Well, remember, at the time, moms weren't touching video games. They were telling their kids not to touch them.
That's true. But dads were.
Dads were all about it, yeah.
And moving the controllers around like this as they played.
Are you calling my dad out?
I'm calling every dad out.
Every dad out?
Yeah.
Because he did exactly. He only bought. See, if it weren't for my dad, I would never have had a PS1. But he bought that PS1 for one particular reason.
NASCAR.
To signal the cars into the pit in motion. A good 8 years before the Wii was even a concept. So
I'm rolling down the road and I'm flirting with disaster. Oh my god. I will never forget playing that at your house.
And my dad's like, it's got Molly Hatchet. I knew this is where I was meant to be. Anyway,
so I love Dr. Mario. I had a sealed NES copy of it. I found a copy of it at an estate sale for like $1
That's
on the
score.
Game Boy, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll buy that." So I was playing that probably 2 weeks ago. So
you were still playing it?
Yeah, I still play it every once in a while.
Nice. You're pulling up on the classic, I assume.
No, on my Game Boy, SP, my GBA SP.
Oh, you still have the original cartridge?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. Wow. You know what? Good for you too. Mazel tov. The amount of actual fresh games that I had gotten from way back then that I still have on me, or maybe. Well, actually, they're all Game Boy games. So yeah, I guess that's kind of the trope. Did you know? I don't know if you've heard this. You probably have. I don't know. But Dr. Mario, they actually explain in the Japanese version what exactly he's a doctor of.
No.
He's a veterinarian.
Huh?
When you finish the game, there is a cinematic that shows that he's been treating a dog the entire time.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Hey, I'm glad he's not, I guess, eating them. I don't know. Because I hear that dogs pair quite well with the carbonara.
It's Bachin.
Just what I've heard. But there's one cooler thing about Dr. Mario that I wanted to touch upon before we get the hell out of here.
What's that?
Is that when I was trying to sort through all these categories of games and stuff to try to dig up anything that's plague flavored. There was one category that seemed to kind of have more traction with that topic or that topicality than any other game, and it was puzzle games, because I believe Dr. Mario kind of kickstarted a kind of a reliant theme for people that don't really that are kind of trying to get into a particular market. The first one that popped up was a DS puzzle game called Poochie Virus, which don't know what the name really means. You can look it up for yourself at your risk, but
sure.
Essentially it was on the DS, so it used the touchscreen, and what you had to do was draw a quarantine border. Viruses are falling from the top. You have to draw a quarantine border around similarly colored bacteria to make them disappear.
That's clever.
And the thing is that I should have remembered this game, because when I played it, I enjoyed the hell out of it, and it was probably one of the funniest written games that was available on the DS at that point. It was just kind of weird. Let me see if you remember this. There was this odd artisanship zone on the DS, or at least with DS localizations, where games would not only come over like fully translated, or if they would, they were fully translated, but they're also written disturbingly well.
Oh yeah.
And I remember the first one of those was Phoenix Wright.
Yep.
Yeah, and afterwards I can name off a couple of others like
Elite Beat Agents.
Elite Beat Agents was effing great.
Yep.
Tokyo Beatdown was hilarious. And Poochie Poochie Virus, which just happened to have really hilarious dialogue. So there was that one, and then I thought of another one that during like the blossoming of the indie scene, Fifth Cell, who did Lock's Quest and Scribblenauts, they actually did a browser-based game called DNA.
Really?
Where you would have to try to like segregate different colored strands of bacteria, but because the theme ties into the gameplay, DNA chains, they had to be chains or you wouldn't progress at all.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's clever.
I tried looking for it the other day because their website is still up. Unfortunately, it is dedicated solely to their current mobile game offering, and I forgot what that was called. But yeah, it was pretty cool. So puzzle games, just riddled with germs. Wear gloves next time you play.
All right,
that stuff.
That's going to do it for the first episode of MICROTRANSGRESSIONS. We are probably going to be back next week sometime, I would say. We'll talk about something else.
It would be. We're going to live through it all. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's not going to be virus related next time. We'll talk something else. If there's anything you guys want to talk about, let us know.
We'll do apocalypse themed games next week.
And there's plenty of those to pick from. Plenty of those to pick from.
And we'll be doing it from an undisclosed location.
We'll do it from the soundproof booth.
Yes, nowhere near Fury Road. At all.
But until next time, guys, have fun, play more games, and by all means, wash your hands and stay safe.
Please do that last thing.
Yes, very much.
Especially if I'm like letting you borrow my controller. Pete's sake.
Pass them sticks, but wash your hands first.